I swear I lose my head if it wasn't attached. I wait for these moments. I love these moments, and I thrive in these moments. Payday. You'll want the payday. I know that Canelo Alvarez versus William Scull is a dud. DOA, dead on arrival. I try to tell y'all, I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. Now, I really love these moments. And the great thing about my job that I will always regard as one of my favorites, and I've had all types of jobs in my life, but to be on the internet and be against, I'm outnumbered, put it that way. I'm outnumbered. There's always going to be more viewers and listeners than me. I'm one person, right? So to constantly get on here, have the balls to voice my opinion, no matter if it's popular, unpopular, I don't care, and speak my mind, you're always going to have naysayers and detractors and people who try to say you're wrong. So I love these moments where I get to come out and tell y'all how right I was. And I'm going to keep reveling in those moments. Now here's another one of those. Now I distinctly remember Canelo was supposed to fight Jake Paul, right? And I made some statements, and I don't know if people thought I was joking or if I was hating or whatever, but I remember the comments, I remember what y'all said, and here we are. We are on fight week. Canelo fights on Saturday, and it feels desert dry. It feels dry as... It is so funny. It's like Canelo's not even fighting. Canelo is fighting in Saudi Arabia. And when I came out and the news first broke that Canelo went a different direction, I said the move was selfish. It was selfish for Canelo to do what he did and do a multi-4 fight deal with Saudi Arabia and turn down a Netflix deal to fight Jake Paul. And some people are like, who cares? Jake Paul sucks. Oh, Jake Paul's not a real fighter. I guarantee you this. If Canelo, Jake Paul was to go forward, meaning Turkey didn't get in the way and Ak blocked the fight, right? And he still fought Jake Paul, it would not feel like this. It would feel like a big event, which is exactly what I would have preferred. And I said this, and people acted like I was speaking in tongues, like they couldn't understand why I would say what I'm saying. And I told you this. For Canelo taking a lucrative deal, that is cool for his family, that is cool for his bank account, but it's not cool for the fans. Canelo fighting more often than not in Saudi Arabia, same deal. This doesn't really benefit anybody except for Canelo and Saudi politics, because they're trying to attract people to Saudi Arabia or whatever their end goal is with putting on fights. But for me, it feels dry. Nobody's talking about Canelo's fight. He's supposed to be the face of boxing, and it just doesn't even feel like a fight is coming up. You see more like emphasis and more excitement with Naoya Inoue fighting in America, or even the Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo card. So Canelo is surrounded by people he's supposed to be a bigger star than, and they have bigger and better, more anticipated events than Canelo Alvarez. I told you, Canelo should be fighting David Benavidez, not Crawford, not Scull, David Benavidez, point blank, period. And the reason I was going and willing to accept a Jake Paul fight is because that is a commercial event and a big event, and to have a few of those per year is a good thing for boxing, to show that American boxing or boxing in America is healthy, to shut down Vegas, to have these crazy press conferences, which I think Jake Paul, Canelo would have been, etc., etc. But Canelo, either used Jake Paul's leverage and never intended on fighting him or whatever, or Turkey got in the way and said, hey, if you want these other fights we talked about and the money we talked about, you can't fight Jake Paul. Either way it went, it hurt Canelo, and it hurt the fans because, again, he's fighting Scull. No one asked for this. And it's so funny. I know boxing. If I don't know nothing else, I know boxing. And the funny thing is, they try to put this, oh, he's fighting him for undisputed. I don't give a uck. Like, we don't care. The undisputed thing is played out. Like, if you could become undisputed, cool. But we all know how that works, and we all know there's some politics there. Certain guys get more access to certain belts and certain scenarios, and other guys get overlooked when they're rightful. All these types of things. There's not many fighters who are going against the grain and doing what's right at all times, right? So the undisputed is not enough of a selling point. And that's another point that your boy Ego made that a lot of you guys try to fight me on. I told you, belts do not matter in this modern age of boxing. They don't matter. They're additional, supplemental, an extra incentive, but ultimately it is not going to stop paying customers from purchasing what they want. Meaning, if Tank is fighting Ryan Garcia and they've entertained you and you want to see the fight, guess what? Belt or no belt, you're watching it and you're paying for it. Mayweather, when he fought Conor McGregor, I don't know what you're thinking. Who that? Right? When they fought, people didn't care about no belt. People had watched the press conferences, watched the press tour. They were entertained by it, and they wanted to know what was going to happen. And it was fear of missing out, period. People don't be like, oh, this fight is for the belts, so I have to order the pay-per-view now. I mean, it's been, everything I'm saying is slowly but surely being proven. You had Better Bia versus Bivol, and they said they did $45,000 for a rematch, not the first fight, a rematch, meaning there was a backstory there. The first fight was good. It was a solid fight, and yet you could only sell 45,000 in America pay-per-view buys. Then months later, they came out with some inflated global number, which I believe to be capped. You know what I mean? And that had all the belts on the line in the light heavyweight division. So belts, that's cool, but it's not going to sway people. It's not enough to sway people. It's too much free entertainment, streaming, all these types of things. The fight has to resonate with people, right? Even the year Crawford fought Errol Spence, that was an undisputed welterweight fight, and it did less numbers and less financial success than Tank versus Ryan, which was at a catchweight with rehydration clause. Like, you guys complained about these things, but guess what? A fight like that outsold every fight that year, including Canelo and Spence versus Crawford. I know y'all want me to be wrong, but I keep showing y'all I'm great. I am greatness in the flesh, the best in the business, and it's not even close, and I keep getting it right. This Canelo Scull fight, undisputed is not enough. And then on top of that, Canelo's fans have less and less access to him. Canelo has a lot of Hispanic and Latino fans that live in some of these states like Arizona, California, Nevada, right? Texas. And you made it infinitely harder to watch Canelo's Scull fight by putting it in Saudi Arabia. And that's like a 19-20 hour flight from Northern California, where I'm at, to go to Saudi Arabia, right? So yeah, everything I said in the past is checking out. Jake Paul, Canelo Alvarez, you can say whatever you want. It's not a real fight, circus fight, whatever you want, but it wouldn't feel like this. This has absolutely no buzz. They even put Jaime Munguia, after he got upset, in a rematch, and F.A. Ajagba and Martin Bakoli, and I don't see anybody talking about the card, and the card is this week. We're literally in fight week. So Canelo's face of boxing status is fading, and fading rapidly because of decisions he's made. You've been in America making money since about 18 or 19, and now you betrayed and abandoned America, and you're looking out for yourself and money, and these choices have just alienated you and pushed you out the way. You know what I mean? So good luck for Canelo.